Dear human, dear soul, I welcome you to my podcast series, Conversations with the Universe. Since a near-death experience, I have the gift to communicate with subtle levels of the cosmos. The knowledge from these for us invisible forms of energy I capture in my books, and it is now a great pleasure for me to share this knowledge, these conversations, with you as a supplement to the books. Please excuse me if the terms and articulations are not perfect. Our mother tongue is German, but we try to translate it to the best of our abilities. Thank you.
Hello, my dear Padawans, and in our new episode of Conversations with the Universe, we are speaking with Bezerra de Menezes. He was a monk, teacher, doctor, military officer, politician, entrepreneur, and writer. Let's start the interview. I call upon the energy that people invoked under the name Bezerra de Menezes. Dear Bezerra, I wanted to contact you too, as you are also connected with the beings of power that work in Abhajania.
That's correct.
Can you tell me a little about who you are and where you're from?
That's not necessary.
Okay, all right. Could you still maybe try to tell me from your intention, what you are doing now and how you are behaving? Could you also tell me a bit about your last life?
Yes.
I would like to know, what were the most wonderful moments in your previous life?
I was very rich as a young man, as my father brought a lot of wealth with him, but I couldn't grasp it when he died. Instead, I started a new life. People needed help, and I tried to do this in my own way, but I was too attached to the material.
So what happened that changed things?
It is handed down.
You mean the story with the math student?
No. The story that is told is about how the masters appeared to me.
Would you like to tell me a bit more about it so we can record it here for all the listeners?
That's irrelevant, Sylvia. I was in a state back then where I was very desperate, and I wanted and had to decide what would become of my life. That is when I felt the presence of an entity, which I then also saw.
And how did you see them?
The energy of this being was very bright, and I perceived it as warm. That was very nice, and that moment was the best for me during that time.
And were there any other nice moments afterwards?
Yes. Thus began my journey of healing others and my own soul. It's all connected. We are all healing ourselves while healing others.
True words. What made you happiest about it?
That I was really able to help some people, because I could deliver many messages to them and many impulses, which eventually helped. But of course, I also experienced the downside of this work and did not always get appreciation for it. That's fine. I'm over it.
Would you maybe like to tell me how your transition to the other world was?
Sure. The energy that I became the new form. That started by shedding the physical body and perceiving new things. My attitude changed, and I became brighter and brighter. I flew over the clouds and over the trees. I was happy in that feeling. It was beautiful. Then I reached the level of light orbs, and they brought me to the level of the masters, and that's where I am now.
So, do you perceive yourself in a way, on the third, fourth level, if we can say it like that.
You could say so.
You spoke through Chico and was able to convey it through Chuao, where he should go in his work. Chuao, by this I mean the medium on site. Is that correct?
That's right.
And where did you get this information about the locality from?
I had the information from this perception in the in-between world. There I saw the energy of the earth. It was very bright and clear in this place. And I remembered that. And also how it could work
But
there.
how exactly did that happen?
I've seen the energy of the place. And also the connection to the world of light orbs. It was like perceiving a channel for me. When I arrived at the light orbs, I knew it was something good. And that's why I wanted the medium to be able to work in that energy. And that was right, I think.
Yes, you did that exactly right. Thank you so much for that. Were you also scared back then during the transitional phase?
No. Fear is not a force we know without the body and the ego.
And how do you behave now, seen in this way as a kind of master?
That's easy to say. I am just there. And when I'm called, I'm there too.
That means you're acting as a
That's
master.
right.
Did you ever imagine you would act as a master in the cosmos?
Very funny question, Sylvia. Energy is energy. We can transform it, but the potential is essentially already there. I have always been a master energy.
Is there a specific area you can be called for?
I can get information that affect completely different topics. It always depends on the question.
And do you have a specialized area where you can best obtain and forward information?
The soul in areas of perceived lack.
What does that look like?
The soul that feels lack is not connected to true power. This creates in her the feeling of loneliness and loss. So it is easy to help them. We send you strength if you ask for it.
Who are we then?
The other masters.
Can you see how the medium and the entities work together?
I see what's happening in Abidjania, but I cannot see the entities. They are on another plane.
Yeah, they are on an even higher level, but the light orbs are with you, right?
The light spheres are making really good progress. But I also see that they often work in vain. You can't really generalize like that. But I think you get what I mean.
Yes, I understand that, because there really isn't anything for free.
That's right.
It just fizzles out for now. Do you maybe want to leave a message for people?
The energy of the place Abidjania is unique in the whole world. I ask people to internalize this and not wasting time with pointless direct conversations among each other. Strength is so important for healing. So it helps when people walk in silence and remain in silence. That is the essence of the healing process.
And would you also like to leave a message for those who can't manage to heal themselves right now during their visit?
That's not my job.
Do you actually want to come back to Earth like reincarnator?
No. I abhor this way of being.
Would you like to leave or pass on something?
Very few would understand, but I am happy to give it a try anyway.
Oh, come on, give it a try.
The power of a soul is not like a perpetual motion machine. We can further transform this strength, but the actual source is the source, and the souls have the task of recognizing, finding, strengthening the connection there, and to hold. That is entirely the responsibility of each individual, and that's the core of my message. I don't need to say more. That's the essence.
You seem very determined, almost serious. Is there a reason for that?
I didn't know that. It's just my way of being.
I read that you lived around the turn of the century, so from the 18th to the 19th century. Was that perhaps how you communicated with each other back then?
I really don't know what you mean, but yeah, that's how we communicated.
No, don't worry. I didn't want to judge it. I just wanted to categorize it because every being, after all, has its own essence. Individual way of communication, and compared to what we've heard so far, and when you contact others, you seem more like, let's say, formally and very curtly. But thank you so much for your dedication and your information. I wish you many more wonderful moments.
Well said, Sylvia. Everything here is indeed just in the moment, but I know what you mean. Thank you too.
Subtitles by the Amor Document. Thank you, love. And for all the attentive listeners, if that's a bit too little information about Bezerra, you can find more in the book. Read a bit more about him and his person, or just Google around a bit yourself, because we've now referred to his life once or twice, to facts in his life that you cannot know at all. And as I said, for those who want to go deeper, just take a look at the book, Interviews with the Entities of Abhadhyana. On that note, have a wonderful evening, day, or whatever you are experiencing right now. See you soon. Lots of love.